Okay, so today we're going to walk through designs, how to create a presentation, flyers, and how to use any of those marketing materials for a paid ad as well. So as we're going through this training this morning, feel free to ask any questions. You can ask in the chat box, or feel free to unmute yourself and ask. I want to make sure that as you guys go through the information today, you guys walk away feeling a lot more excited and a lot more confident in using designs in your business. There's a lot of information that labs have put together to really help take a lot of that creative design work stress off your plate, so you can start to create really nice pieces of marketing material. So to get started in designs, from the command homepage, we will click over in the designs applet over here on the left hand side. So we'll click on that. And this will take you into the designs applet, where it will show you all the different pieces of marketing material that you've created. And then up here at the top, there is these tabs for email, landing page, social, print, agent site, and video. If you click on any one of these types of pieces of content, it'll sort through and only show you those types of content that you've created. So that way, if you want to go back and double check something, or you want to copy something, you can easily distinguish between all of the other pieces of marketing materials that you've made. When you want to add or create a new design, in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll click on the plus sign. And then from this pop-up window, you'll decide which specific piece of marketing material you want to make. So we'll get started with creating the listing or buyer's presentation, since that has been one of the pieces of marketing material I've received the most questions about. And then we'll go through creating a flyer, as well as leveraging that for a paid campaign. So for the listing presentation, that will be considered a print piece. Now keep in mind, let's say you're not really sure if it's print or social, you can pick either or, and then you can always go back and change and start over if you need to go to the other type of design. So we'll start with print and click next. And this will open up the editor. I associate this most similarly to Canva. So I don't know if you've ever had a chance to play in Canva, but it's a web-based design editor. Designs is really similar to that. It's a little bit more detailed, has a few more features than that, but you can see here, everything's laid out with the types of pre-made templates over here on the left-hand side. So we have anything for the KW app, listings. Here you can see our listing presentation, for sale, just listed, a bunch of different flyers. And then you have different formats along the top. So for just listed, you can do a door hanger, a bifold that's horizontal, postcards. So you can see here within each type of content, there are different formats that you can use. And all these templates are created so that way it's really easy for you. So that way you don't really have to do a lot of the creative thinking. You can just update any pieces of information that are relevant to your business and then use it. You do also have the right to use all these images. Labs has paid for any of the copyright usage, so you're good to go. Before we jump in and start our design, I do want to show you how to pre-populate your library with your logo, your headshot, your bio, any pieces of information that you're likely to use on a regular basis. So over here on the right-hand side, there is this button, it says library. We're going to click on that. And here, this is going to show you all the details. Most of this is going to pull in from your marketing profile, but if it's missing any information, you can add it here. I recommend that you fill in this information as thoroughly as possible, because a lot of this is going to be text and images that you use throughout all of your marketing materials, especially for compliance. And by having it set up here, it'll make it a lot easier for you to make that quick update to that template with your information. And I'm going to walk you through how to do that in just a moment. So go through here, add your name. If you're on a team or you have a marketing team, and fill in all the information as much as possible here. The next tab is text. And so this is going to be where you can add a tagline if you have a specific tagline that you use for your business. The next is your bio, and this will pull in directly from your marketing profile, which is where mine came from, and then vision. If you have a vision for your business, a way that you like to interact with your clients, fill that in here. So that way you can use it in any of your marketing materials, because there are going to be some pieces of marketing material that's going to be all about, building that brand awareness about yourself, especially if you're farming a neighborhood where you might want to include that vision statement. So that way potential clients know exactly what it's like to work with you and what's important to you and what they can expect when they work with you. The next is images. So you get a handful of images here. You can use your headshot. I have two different formats of mine, a little close up, taller one. But if you have a couple pieces of images that you want to use, you can upload those here. To do it, just click on it. And then a pop-up window will give you the option to select the image you want to add. Then you can upload some background. So this is going to be if you have any images that you want to use as a background on multiple pieces of marketing material. Let's say you have a picture of a house that you use as a lot of your marketing material. That's a lot of clients know that picture of this house is synonymous with this agent. You can upload that here as well. So just click on it and you can select that image. The next tab is logos. So here you can upload a logo for the office. So I have my KW First Atlanta logo. I downloaded this from rawlsgrouphelpdesk.com. Scott Hardy has uploaded all of the logos for all the Rawls Group offices there. And there's a zip file for First Atlanta, and it has numerous different formats. It has an all white version, the full color version. It has logos without backgrounds, some with backgrounds. So you have a lot of different options. So I recommend you check out rawlsgrouphelpdesk.com and you can get all the different logos there. You can also upload your team logo. So here you can see I have my Nicholas Core Real Estate logo. And if I had, if I wanted a couple different options, I could put that here. And then below here is elements. So this is maybe if you have like a secondary or tertiary vision or brand element. So for me, I actually have some dashes and some other pieces of creative icons that you can use. So if you have any of that, you can use that here as well. All right, have a quick question. How do you manage the pixels for the picture? What editor program can we use to change pixels? So we can talk about that in just a minute, because you are able to create specific size images in designs. You don't necessarily have to use a template, and we'll walk through that in just a moment. So yeah, so update any logos or elements here. And then the last tab over here is the brand kit. And this is something that I think is really great and unique to designs. If you've worked with a branding company, you have a logo, maybe you have some specific brand colors or fonts that you want to use in all of your marketing materials, you can update and add those brand colors here. So you can click on the color, and it'll give you the option. You can select the color here, or you can come down here and you can type in your color. I have some, but I don't really know what they are. And you can it'll add that color. I just made up that color number, but you can quickly add in that color. And then if you have a font, so this means that you have the font file downloaded on your computer, you can upload that here into designs. So that way you can use that font on every single piece of your marketing material, so it's cohesive across whichever platform you use. So if you have the Churchwell group maybe making some of your marketing materials, but then you want to make some here in designs, or you've made some in the past in Canva, all of them will look synonymous. And so you'll be able to build that brand recognition with your sphere and farming areas. So go through and add this information before you get started in designs to make sure that you have that cohesive look and feel across all of your pieces of marketing. Where did you find the Keller Williams with no logo, with no background? That is the Rawls Group Help Desk. I'll type in the URL here, helpdesk.com. And then when you get to the Rawls Group Help Desk, there is a toolbar at the top, and it says downloads. Click on that, and then you'll be able to select the Keller Williams First Atlanta group to download that zip file of all the different logos there. So once you have updated your library with all of your information, you can get started on creating your designs. So today I want to start by walking through the listing presentation. There's a listing presentation as well as a buyer presentation. So you can see that here. So you have two different options for each. They're very similar. So we're just going to walk through the listing presentation because it does take a couple minutes. But you have two different options. You have the modern one here, which is going to be black. I'll just open it up real quick so you can get an idea. Well, I don't want to use it right now. And then we have the classic one. So depending on what your style is as an agent, or depending on the type of home or client you're going to see, you may want to use one version of the listing presentation versus the other. So for today, I'm going to use the classic one because to me, I really like the way this looks. So I'll click on use, and that will load that. And now you can see here, we have the template on the left-hand side. So you can see it says listing presentation template. We have an instructions, and then we have this page here. Now you'll notice I haven't yet clicked on any of the pages yet, because you'll notice when I click on the pages down here, I don't actually have any pages added to this listing presentation. So if I scroll through the template, there's about like 26 different pages that you can choose from to add to your presentation. And in order to use any of these pages, I have to click on it. So you can see here, if I click on this, it'll add that page to my presentation. And then if I want to add this one, I'll click on that. So it'll become the second page. So you would go through and click on the template pages on the left to add it to your listing presentation down here at the bottom. So I'll just go through and add a bunch of these. Because I think a lot of the information that they've put in here is really great, and the way they presented it looks really professional. So I'm not a creative person. I'm not good at building presentations like this. So having this option to have a whole listing presentation in here is phenomenal, because I don't have to worry about it, but it looks great. It looks professional. And my clients wouldn't be any wiser to know that I didn't actually design this from start to finish. All right, so you get the idea. You just kind of go through and add the pages that you want. And then to get started, I'll just click down here in the pages. And I'm going to minimize this just so I can see this fully. So you can see here there's a bunch of text. There's an image. We have our KWDBA name. So we're just going to go through here and update this. And we'll walk through how to make those updates step by step. So we'll start here. So I'm going to use my listing at 186 Cherokee Reserve Circle for our example today. And that's an actual listing with actual clients. So I'm going to update this information as if I were just about to go on that listing. So I'll just start at the top, and I will update this to Mark and Victoria. Actually, I think this is all caps. So let me come back here and update this. Mark and Victoria. Now you can see the text is a little bit longer than the box, so just click out of the text box and you'll see I'll have these white circles and dashes, and that allows me to extend the text box. So that way everything fits. And then I'll come here and I'll update their last name. And again, the text is too big, so I'll just extend that here. Perfect. Now, here's an image here of a mother and daughter. You can edit that image if you want. So to edit that image, you just click on it, and then the image tab will update over here. And it's going to show you all of the images that are uploaded to designs. So this is kind of a lifestyle at home image. So you can just kind of go through here and select any of the images that you want. So let's say I want to use this one right here. This looks like a little family in front of a house. I can just click on the, to me, it looks like a recycle icon, but it says replace image. So click on that and it replaces the image. And what's nice is when you click on replace, you don't have to worry about reformatting or resizing the image if they put it right in those dimensions as is. Now you can see over here on the left-hand side, this image is a lot taller. So if I come over here, I can click on the image and I can kind of reposition it. So maybe I get more of the house in the background. And then once I'm done, just click out of it. Perfect. Now I've repositioned it. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the logo. I'll just click on the logo and then I'll come over to the logos icon on the left, click to my library, and I'll come over the KW First Atlanta logo and click replace. Now you'll see it kind of does this weird thing where it makes it a larger square. That's fine. That's because when I uploaded this as a PNG file without a background, that's how it shows it as a full square. So you can just kind of reposition it and resize it as you want. Perfect. So now I'll come over here. I'll click on this image, the headshot. So it opens up the images over here, images tab on the left. I'll click on my library and then I will select my headshot and click replace. And it's that easy. Now I'll just come over here really quickly and fill in, update all this information. So you see how easy it is. You just double click on it and edit. Now I want to kind of reposition this over here so it looks part of my name. And then I'll update all of this. So 404-414-8238. We don't want this to be caps. So you just go through here, fill in your information as is. Perfect, good to go. Now I would finish updating the URL and add in my link to download my app, but that would be a simple copy paste of that URL. So that is our first page. So I'll click on the next page. And again, really simple, just want to update our headshot here. So I'll use this one here because it's more of a rectangle. Perfect. And if you want to, you could resize it if you want to make it a little bit bigger. Again, you could change this image here if you wanted to. Let's click on, you click on the three dots to go back to all of the folders for the images. And this is a house, so we can click on house types. And let's say you're going to list a single family home. So we'll want to kind of search through here for a single family home that looks more similar to my client's home, or if I have an actual picture of my client's home, I could use that here. But you can just see, I'll just use this little image here. That looks nice and fun. And it's that simple to update your image. And then here's kind of an index of what's going to be a table of contents of what's going to be included in this presentation. So make sure that you update this depending on the pages and information you include. All right, so I'll come down here and click on next page. And this is going to be an overview of my client's property. So really it's super simple. You just go through here and double click on the information to update it. So I'll start over here with the address. So I'll double click on this black text. And this is going to be the street name. So I'll just type up Cherokee Reserve Circle. And then when I'm done, I'll click Save Changes. Now you can see that the text is a little long here. So I'll extend that. Oh, no, we don't want that far. Actually, let me undo that. Let me move this text here, and then I can click on this and extend it forwards. That way that works. I'll double click on the address and I'll update this 186 and click Save Changes. And then I'll just kind of reformat this and reposition so it lines up with the text. Perfect. So now this is my favorite part of designs, is that when you want to start updating property images and property information, you don't even have to upload anything. You can just pull all this information out of the MLS. So I want to update this picture here for the actual picture of my listing. So if you're going on a listing presentation, you may want to use a picture that you've taken. This listing is live for me, so I'll pull it out of the MLS. So I'll come over here, I'll click on the image. If you wanted to add one, you can come to library or click on add, and you can upload an image here. But I want to use the KWLS. So I'm going to search for 186 Cherokee Reserve Circle, Canton, Georgia. So I'll just scroll down until I find my listing. Perfect. Right here. I'm going to use the Georgia MLS listing just because later on when I want to pull in some of the text from the listing, Georgia MLS pulls in the full property description. So I'll just click on select, and it's going to pull up all of the images from the listing. And I want to use this one right here. So I'll just click on the replace image, and boom, it's that easy to pull it over. Now I'll need to come over here and I need to update this text. So it's kind of small. The page is kind of small. So I'm going to zoom in so I can more easily read what text I'm updating. So I'll just double click on this. So we are 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. We are 3,044 square feet. Last sold for $3,007 in 2017. Perfect. So now I can kind of zoom out. Now I'd recommend going through here and filling in some details about the property. So you don't necessarily have to use this, but you can see your home is 10% larger than the average property sold in Barton Hills. But you'd want to go through here and update any of this information. So that way it is correct with your listing. So we'll see is, I'll just make it 5% larger. We can put your lot has is 10% larger than let me click than the average property sold in Cherokee Reserve. So you can just see, just go through here. Actually, we want to capitalize this. So you would just go through here and update all those details. And you can see it's that easy to pull in the information. All right, so once I finished updating the property page, I'll click on the next down here, next page. And this is going to be an overview of what's going on in Cherokee Reserve. So that's the neighborhood of my listing. So I'll just go through here. And I imagine that, you will have gone through Cherokee Reserve. You will have gone through and pulled your CMA, so you'll have a good idea of what this information is. So it should be pretty easy for you to go through and update based on what's going on in the neighborhood. So this image here is kind of that quick neighborhood snapshot image. So we'll want to update this. So to do that, we'll click on the image and I'll come back over here. So rather than pulling a listing from the KWLS, I'll pull a snapshot. And for here, I'll pull Cherokee Reserve, Canton, Georgia. So you can see right here, top result, Cherokee Reserve. So I just click on this and it shows me the different versions of the snapshots. So I have the tall vertical version, I have the horizontal version, and then I have a map. Now looking at this, it doesn't actually pull in a lot of the information here. So that wouldn't look great to include in my listing presentation. So I'll just pull Canton, Georgia as a whole. So here, perfect, Canton, click on it, perfect. You can see here has some more information. So I'll just click on replace image, perfect. And then I would update this to match accordingly. So Canton, Georgia. And then I would go through here and again, just fill in the information based on what I saw in my CMA when I was pulling comps. And it would also be good based on any initial conversations that you've had with your clients. So if they've pointed out some of the key features of their home or some of the features that they're looking for, of seeing in their friends' homes in the area, be sure to double check that information, and you can point that out here. So that way you can kind of, paraphrase back to them exactly, their thoughts and concerns and what they love about their home. So you know that it's something that you're looking in. So as you're, putting together your CMA and your recommended list price, that you're hearing what they're saying and you're looking to see how their home compares to what's going on in their area. So once we've updated this, we'll go click on the next page. And this will take us to our comparable properties. This, to me, is one of the most interesting parts of my listing presentations, because it's where I get to dive in and show them, hey, I'm a market expert for you. I know exactly what's going on in your neighborhood, in your area. And by using this listing presentation, you can show how creative you are and how you're able to put that information in a useful design. Now, I know we have a lot of different options of how we can show our CMA, straight out of FMLS. You can use Excel. We have Cloud CMA, which I would still recommend using those tools, because that's kind of where you'll get really granular in the data. But I think including this information here and the comps as a part of this very visually pleasing listing presentation will be to your benefit. So we'll want to go through and update these comp properties. So what I would recommend doing is, when I put together my CMA, I create a cart in FMLS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into my FMLS really quickly, and I'll show you. I have a cart right here that I saved for 186 Cherokee Reserve Circle. And I put in all of the listings that I want to use or potentially use for my CMA. So I have everything here. So I'm going to sort by subdivision complex, because for my listing presentation, I just want to show the comp properties within the Cherokee Reserve neighborhood. So I can just click on this property right here. And then to make it even easier, I can just grab the FMLS number. So I copy the FMLS number, I come back into designs, and then I'll click on, let's say, this first property right here, click on it, come back to listing. I can search by MLS number, paste that MLS number in there. Perfect. And it pulls that listing right up. So I can click select. And again, it pulls up all of the listing photos. So I'll just click on replace image. All right. See how easy that was? Now I kind of want to resize this so it's a little bit more zoomed in on the house. So I'll just double click on the image and expand it and reposition. And double click out of it. Perfect. There we go. And then next to photos is listing details. So you can see here, it pulls in all of this information out of the listing. So if I needed any of the information, I could just look right here. So I can come right here and say, okay, this is 129 Cherokee Reserve Circle. And then I'll just edit how wide that text is. Perfect. And then I can just come right here. Well, actually, I'm going to zoom in because this is kind of small. And I want to be able to easily read this. So we are 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, sold for 335. 1, 2, 3. Oh, list price, and then sold for 335. 2, 3, and 9 days, and this square footage is 3,200. Perfect. So now I've just updated that comp property. Pretty simple. Now I can see how after a while this could be pretty tedious, but I think the visual impact of having this included in your larger listing presentation outweighs kind of the tediousness of going through and making the updates to the specific information. So I want to pull my next comp property. So I'll come back into FMLS. All right. And then we'll select 612 Darnell Road. So I'll copy the FMLS number, come back into command, search. Actually, sorry, let me click back, paste in that FMLS number, and then here we have 612 Darnell Road. So I'd click on this image right here and then come over, and I'm going to use this image and I'm going to click replace. And then I kind of want to reformat this just a little bit. Perfect. And then again, just start updating this text. So this is 612 Darnell Road. Oh, oops, we are not capitalizing this one. All right, and then listing details, just click over here, and then we can get all of the information on this home. So I would just start, updating the information. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. We have 3. So it's that simple. Again, just, for my next comp, just come over here, grab the FMLS number, scroll back up here, click back, paste, search, select, click on the image I want to replace, and then click on replace. And then let's reposition. Perfect. All right. This is 172 Cherokee Reserve Circle. So you can see how quickly you can start adding in those comp properties and filling it in. Now, let's say you wanted to break up your comps into actives, under contracts, and sold. So if looking at the pages here, you can see we just have one page of comp properties. I can just duplicate this. So I could just click on the select action and duplicate. And now it's duplicated. So I could click on this version right here. And let's see, I'll make this sold. Now I'd have to go back and actually double check to make sure that this is the correct sold properties. And I could click on this one. Under contract. And then we'll just extend this. All right, so that's a little big. So we'll just want to change the font so it's not quite as big. So we're at size 40. Let's try 36. Perfect. And then I want to actually, let me copy this one. So we'll change this from under contract to active. And then I want to change that font back to 40 so it matches the original. Perfect. So now you could just go through here and you could select, you'd have your page of sold comps, under contract comps, and active comps. And it's really that simple to copy that page. So you just go through the rest of the listing presentation and double check and make sure that all the information matches your needs and all the images match your brand and your look and feel. So if you have images that you want to use specifically, like I said, so here's this image. Say this doesn't really work for your client. They don't have a family. Maybe they don't have a daughter. They have a son. You could select different images. So I'll come back over here. Sorry, let me go back to templates. Text, this is being weird now. Perfect, so yeah, click on the images. So the images button comes up over here. So let's say I wanna add a different image. So I can just click on browse here. And I have a couple images that I have used in the past. So I'll just select this image off my computer and it will upload. And I can come to that imported image and click replace. And then it will automatically fill that image there with the image off my computer. That simple. And then I would just go through here and double check and make sure that all the text matches my language as well as exactly what I'll be doing for my clients. The process, and you can go through here and you can update any of this text. You can move anything, final walkthrough, perfect. And let's say you didn't like this red color, perfect, okay. You could change it, so you can see here, fill color, you can click on this. And if you have, if you went through and you added your brand colors, you could click on library colors here, and it's going to go to a default palette, but if you have your brand colors, you'll have a different option here that you could select and you can change that color. So I can make that gray, perfect, it's that easy to change. You can do the same thing here with this background. We should be able to, but. All right. So I can't change that background color. I guess that is a different image. So you can kind of see here, you just go through here. Most of this information, once you get through updating those initial images and those comps, is really going to be mostly completed for you. You'd want to update your app URL down here. All right. Marketing plan, finding your buyer, best in class, promotional assets. So you can see here just a quick little overview of some of the designs that we have access to, media plan, strategic promotion. So you can see all this information is in here. You're pretty good to go. Open house strategy. I don't know what is going on with this first page, but I'm just going to click delete. Yes. All right. So now we've kind of gone through here. And let's say you want to reorder any of the pages before we do a final save. So let's start. We want to put the active comps first, then under contract, and then sold. Perfect. There we go. Now you're ready to save. So I'll come up here to the title of it, and I'll name this 186 Cherokee Reserve Circle listing presentation. And I like to give everything a date so I know exactly when I made it. It's 06/25/20. And I'll click done. Perfect. So you can see here in my designs, it adds it here. So I can click on this, so I can make a copy of it. I can rename it. When you want to download it, you'll just open it up. Give it a second to open. And then up here is a little download arrow, so you can click download, and it'll give you different options. So you can download JPEG, PNG, or PDF, and you can select a different resolution. So if you're going to actually print this out to take to your listing presentation, I recommend you download as PDF. And if you're going to print it, select the high resolution print quality and just click start download, and it'll download to your computer. Now, It should be downloading. Let's give that a second. So that's how easy it is to get this on your computer, and you can then print that out, take that to your listing presentation, or you can also email it to your clients in advance. So it looks like it is preparing to download, probably because it is such a large file size and saving as PDF that it's taking a second for the system to get that together to print. Any questions about creating the listing presentation or buyer presentation? It'd be the same process for the buyer presentation, probably just a little bit of different information, not so many comps to use. The same process of going through, double checking the information, adding the pages that you want to your presentation from the template. All right. So now I'm going to go through, actually I have a question. What will be the minimum pages you will suggest? So I'm not going to make any suggestions on the minimum number of pages you should include, but I think you should include all of the pages that are relevant to that conversation and to what you know that client is looking for in you as an agent. So I imagine before you actually go to the listing presentation or listing appointment, you will have had some quick conversation, kind of what they kind of expect out of you, what they're looking for, maybe some issues they've had in the past with an agent. And then you want to tailor that information to speak to those concerns and what you'll do as an agent. So, Adriana, you may spend a lot of time, hosting open houses and doing Facebook ads, and that's something that you do for all of your business, and it works really well for you. I don't necessarily really like open houses that much. So you may want to put a lot more information in your listing presentation about open houses. And then for me, I would kind of take some of it out to not highlight open houses as much because I don't really like doing that, or I haven't had good success. So you just want to make sure that you tailor the information for the conversation and the client that you're having. All right, so it downloaded my PDF here. So that simple, just took a minute. So I'm going to click on done, because now I want to show you how you can make a listing flyer or any other digital piece of marketing that you could then also use in a Facebook campaign. So I'm going to click on plus down here because I want to create a new piece of marketing, and we'll start by doing social. Social, really, when you're creating a design, means anything that's going to be digitally focused. So you can still use it across your social media, but you could use it in an email or any type of digital medium. So click next. And this is going to open up the editor for us. And very similar to what we just went through with the print side of designs, we have all the same options over here, really almost kind of endless options of what you could use these materials for. So it's going to default to the KW app. So here's just a bunch of different options to highlight how you could advertise your app. Again, listings, just for sale, just listed 43. And again, you have the different formats for Facebook, Instagram stories. So knowing that each one of these different media channels has a different preferred size. So knowing that Instagram stories is going to be vertical, whereas Instagram timeline is going to be square. All of these templates are already sized and created specifically for you. So you don't have to worry about that. And then over here, you have the buyer. So neighborhood snapshot, Keller mortgage, always something that you can leverage. Lead gen. So if you have, let's say, we talk about home value, client testimonials, and really all sorts of stuff, anything you want. And then they have new designs. So that way, if you want to see what's new on here, you can check those out. And then something they've recently added is the pivot shift ahead. So these look like your meeting backgrounds, and then just a bunch of really fun little infographics that you can use to just stay engaged with your database, and make sure you're staying top of mind with some interesting content for your social media. So I want to show you really quick how to do the neighborhood snapshot for the buyer, just because I think this could be a great way for you to start getting some new clients. So let's come over here. Let's use this one right here. Let's click on use, and I'm going to use the Facebook version. All right. So it's going to default. Everything is going to use Barton Hills as its main default, which is fine. We'll just make sure we update that. So I have another listing in Forest Hills, so I'll use that today as an example. So let's do Forest Hills, and then I'll click on this image over here of the market snap. And again, to update the market snap, we'll go to KWLS, and then click on the snapshots tab up here at the top. And I'm going to type in Forest Hills, Smyrna. Oh, sorry, Smyrna, Georgia. Perfect. So it's right there. And then I will select the vertical version of this, and I will select replace. Perfect. All right, is that easy? And then I want to come over here to the logo. So I'll click on the logo, come back over here to logos, and then actually, let me click back on the logo, come over here and click replace, and just reposition that. Pretty easy. Now, we also have a white version, so let me come back over here. Let's see. Company. I guess if you want to add, do like the all white version of the Keller Williams logo, you could use that here as well. A lot of different options you can choose from. Let me come back over here and add this one. Perfect. So you can see it was that easy to create this Facebook flyer. So I can now post this on my Facebook, so all my neighbors in Forest Hills, people looking for listings, can now say, okay, here's some information. I'll just update the name of it here. So Forest Hills Market Snap, and again, 06-25-20. And I can click download. It's going to give me an option. If you're going to post this on social media, especially on Facebook, select JPEG, because they don't let you use PDF, and PNG can get pretty high in file size. So I'll just click on start download, and it'll prepare the file. It will download. So you can see up here it says preparing. Yes, allow multiple downloads. So there we go. So I'll just click open. I don't know if you can see that, I just opened it up, but it's that simple. All right, so I'll click on done. And now let's create another piece of marketing. I have a question. Where the team logo could be positioned on this designs. I mean, you can put the team logo anywhere you want. It just anywhere that feels like it fits. In the template, they've already kind of specified where they thought the best place for that logo to go. But if you don't like it or you want to kind of rearrange it, put it wherever you want. The world is your oyster. Really, I mean, they've made designs so that way, if you're not very creative like myself, you can just literally drop and drag and drop, put things where you want them, just kind of replace things. Or if you are really creative and you want to spend a lot of time in here, you can make it your own. Let's say you do want to make your own design. You can click over here to My Designs, and you can start from blank. So Adriana, earlier in the training, you'd asked about selecting specific pixel sizes. You can do that here. So you can start from blank and click Start, and we can create a custom sized image. So I can do custom size right here. And then one thing that I have had a lot of conversations with agents about is the sizing of the logos and your headshot for command for your marketing profile, so it pulls in correctly. And they recommend that you have a 360 by 360 image. You can do that right here in Designs by creating your own. And I'll show you how to do that right quickly. So I'll select 360 by 360 pixels and I click on create. And it'll take me into the editor. And now I have a blank canvas. So if I want to add an image, let's say I want to make my Keller Williams First Atlanta logo. I want it to fit within the 360 by 360 square. I'll click on add. I'll come over here. Let me click on, let me get the logos, KW logos, First Atlanta. Let's do a black and white one. Perfect. We'll do this gray and black one. So now I have my 360 by 360 blank space over here. I pull in this logo, and now I can just center it. Perfect. And then when I'm ready to download it, actually, I'll just save this, KWFA, black and white logo, 360 by 360. And I can click download. And now for this, I do want to use a PNG because I want to use a transparent background. So that way, whenever I put this into command into my marketing profile, it won't have a background on it. So I'll just do start download. Perfect. And it's that easy. So it's preparing to download. Now, if I want to share it, I can share this directly to social media. So I could share this directly to Facebook, Twitter, or I can just copy paste that URL. So pretty simple. And then I can click done. So I had a couple questions. All right. And I just want to show I just want to create a really quick piece of marketing material that you can pull directly into a paid campaign. So I'm going to click on new, social, same steps for creating a new piece of content. So let's do lead generation, client love. I love KW. That's fine. I mean, there's so many different options here of what we can do. But when doing a Facebook ad, you can only have up to 20% text on the image. So I'm trying to find something that has less text on it. All right, here we go. Let's just use this. All right, so this is really simple. This looks like Black Lives Matter, which is super relevant. And I know that I'm here at Keller Williams First Atlanta and at Keller Williams International, we are really focused on celebrating that diversity and making sure that all of our Black colleagues and friends and peers know how much we care and support them. So I want to, post this ad on Facebook so that way all of my circle knows that myself and Keller Williams is here to support all my friends and people of color. So I'll just save this. I'll just BLM and I'll do 6/25/20. Click done. So this will save it into my designs portfolio. And now I want to create a quick ad. So I'll come over here to campaigns. And I'll do create a new campaign. I'll do a social ad. And let's do brand awareness. Nick, BLM 6/25/20. Perfect. And I'm going to run this on Facebook and Instagram. So I'm going to set up my campaign. So I'm not going to use a listing here. So, but what I am going to use is add media. So I'll click on configure here. And then I'm going to select media for this campaign. So click select. Choose add images. I can browse design library right here. Choose from designs. And now it shows me all of the designs that I have created in my designs template. So I can just click on that one because I want to use the Black Lives Matter with the heart and KW. and it'll give me the option to make sure it's the right one. And I can select preview and crop. And since we want this to be a square, we want the whole thing to show up, and I'll click Save Image. So now I've pulled in that image that I just created in Designs into my Facebook ad, and I didn't have to download it or anything. It's that simple to use Designs for your Facebook ads. So I've walked through a lot of information today within Designs. We've kind of come to the end of our time, but we have a couple minutes left. So I just want to open up to any questions or anything you might want to see again, any concerns you had, anything else that I can help you with before we jump off this morning. All right. Well, as you guys are playing around in Designs and you're starting to create your listing and buyer presentations and your Facebook ads, let me know what questions you have. Let me know what issues you run into. I'm here to help in any way that I can. Just shoot me a text or an email, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So thank you so much for joining me into this deeper dive into Designs, and I will talk to you all later. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.